Welcome to the Chiefs Way. Now mash that subscribe button or drop and give me 50!
Hello YouTube. We got another episode of SHTF Cooking. And again, this episode we're going to be using the portable stove by Road Pro. This is 12 volts, so we're going to plug directly into the 12 volts. And it cooks at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Today we're going to be making some baked potatoes. So the recipe I got online is you get a couple baked potatoes, you cover them in olive oil, salt them, and wrap them up in some foil, and we're going to cook them for 90 minutes, and we're going to see if we can get them cooked through in 90 minutes. The last one we did, we made rice, and it took a little bit longer. It was supposed to be 40 minutes, and took like an hour and 10 minutes, but the rice turned out pretty good. So let's get started. Let's get those baked potatoes all wrapped up and into the oven. Okay, we got two pretty big baked potatoes here, so they might take a little bit longer than 90 minutes. So let's go ahead and get them in our Road Pro. Okay, they just fit in there. We'll get it closed up, locked up, so we got a good seal. Let's check that again, make sure we got a good seal. Yeah, push down that corner. Corner likes to pop up a little bit, but okay, we got a good seal. Turn on our 12 volts. Okay, got our 12 volts on. Let's go ahead and plug this in. Okay, the red light on the side of our stove is turned on, and you can see it starts out at 174 watts. Okay, and it's going to count down. When we cooked the rice, it started at like 170, and it got down to eventually around 82 watts it was pulling once it was, fully hot. So we're starting today at 399 amp hours, and looks like 14 volts, but those volts will drop down pretty quick. And now see, we started out at 174 watts, but now we're down to 137, and it's still counting down. So we'll come back in about an hour and see how we're doing. Okay, we're 1 hour into the cooking of these baked potatoes. It's warm to the touch on the outside. I mean, it's not hot, it's just warm. There is a bit of insulation. So, we do lose a little bit of heat. The top's not really warm, but it's warm, it's cooking. But look at this now. Over that hour, we've used 6 amp hours. Remember, we started at 400. It was at 400, and as soon as you plug it in, it drops to 399.999. So it was at 400, so we used just about 6 amp hours. Our battery is down to like 13.2 volts, but we're only drawing 69 watts from the battery after 1 hour cooking. And it says there that we could continue doing this for like 75 hours. So we could be cooking potatoes for like 4 days here. So far so good. We'll come back in 30 minutes, and we'll stick a knife in it and see if they're cooked. All right, we'll see you in a bit. Okay, we're right at 1.5 hours now, or 90 minutes. Okay, it's still warm. And we've used just at 9 amp hours. Battery voltage is 13.2, and we're cooking and pulling 65 watts. So let's open this up, and we'll stick a fork in one of the potatoes and see if we can figure out if it's done or not. Okay, this is the biggest one here. I don't think that's done. Don't think it's done at all. So I gotta pull this fork out because it's in there pretty tight. It was kind of tough going in there, so we're gonna give it another 30 minutes. We'll come back in a total of 2 hours, because they are pretty good size, pretty big baked potatoes. We'll come back in about 2 hours and we'll check it. Hey, just a quick update. We're still, about an hour and a half still, but I just turned them over though. So I rotated them, and we'll see what happens at 2 hours. Okay, we're right at 2 hours. It looks like we've used just at 12 amp hours. Still pulling about 62 watts, and the battery voltage is still at like 13.2. So let's go ahead and we'll check it and see how it is. Okay, there's our baked potatoes. Yeah, I think that's much better. Yeah, I think we're done this time, yeah. I think I just had to turn them over. The bottom side cooks probably better than the top side, obviously. So you just have to turn them over maybe halfway, and they would probably cook in that 90 minutes. All right, well, let's get them out of here and get some butter and some salt on them, and we'll see how they are. Okay, update. Cut them open, and they're not quite done yet, so we're gonna get them back in there cooking. I think these potatoes maybe just are way too big. But we're gonna get them back in there and cooking for a while longer. Probably give them another 40 minutes. So we'll check back in another 40 minutes. Here's the recipe I used to bake these baked potatoes. You can see that when they cooked them here on their post, they had 3 smaller baked potatoes. So they were probably able to get those done in 90 minutes, like they said here in the recipe, where I got these 2 giant potatoes in there. So basically, cooking time's gonna vary based on how much potato you got. Okay, we're right now at 2 hours and 40 minutes of total cook time. You can see we use 16 amp hours. Our battery voltage is 13.2, and we're cooking with 65 watts. So let's go ahead and we'll open this up and we'll check these potatoes out. See if we finally got them cooked. So here, we'll check back in a minute. Okay, we finally got done here after 2 hours and 40 minutes. Let me see. Got a huge baked potato there. So if I had to do this again, I probably wouldn't recommend using such large potatoes, because you're going to be cooking for a long time. So I would just use smaller potatoes like we saw in the online picture. And so we used right at it just turned over to 383, so we used 16 amp hours and about an average voltage of 13.35. So it took about 213 amp hours, or excuse me, 213 watt hours to cook these 2 baked potatoes. And as we know, each one of these batteries are 100 amp hour, about 1280 watt hours. So it took 213 watt hours to cook these, so we could cook a lot of potatoes on these batteries. All right, YouTube, if you like this content, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you the next time.